Hi, church. It's Pastor Ivy. One of my most favorite things about being your pastor here at Living Waters is that I get to hear time and time again how God's love is revealing itself through stories, through actions, through words and deeds in this community and outside into the world. And so as we come into our stewardship season, we're going to be inviting you to think about, where has God's love been revealed? Where has God's love impacted you? Where has God's love called you to reach out and share your time and your talents and your treasures? Our stewardship theme this year is Our Hearts, God's Plans. Knowing that everything that we have, everything that we are, is in fact God's. And how do we use those gifts to love the world, to reflect the love of Christ, and to be who God needs us to be in this world? And so beginning November 6th through November 20th, we're going to be providing activities, opportunities, and stories to help us each discern what God is calling us to, what God is asking of our lives, what commitment might we make to Living Waters as a way of reflecting God's love. And so the activities include lots of things, from stewardship storytellers in worship to specific actions each Sunday of our stewardship time. November 6th is All Saints Sunday, where we lift up those saints in our lives who have gone home to heaven, saints who have reflected for us what God's love looks like. And so maybe you're being called to give a one-time gift in honor or in memory of a person who showed you what God's love looks like. On November 13th, which is also a Sunday, we are encouraging you to bring a friend or a family member to church. What better way to talk about reflecting God's love than to extend an invitation? So we are inviting you to bring a friend or a family member to church to worship together as a way of reflecting God's love. On November 20th, we'll be gathering those commitments that we make to God through Living Waters. And we'll close the service that day with service projects for our neighbor, multiple ways in which we can then reflect God's love back out into the world. Now, speaking of those commitments, we're asking each household to commit to two things. First off, we have 5 different project areas for 2013 that we need your time and your talents around. The first one is to help us pursue fiscal and administrative well-being here at Living Waters. That means serving on a committee. It means helping out with projects around the church. It means taking care of this building. Second is developing and nurturing some of our relationships with our ministry partners, specifically ABC Preschool and our Scout Troop, Troop 232. The third one is creation care. We've already started to do work outside the building with our pocket prairie and tending to nature, and so we're going to continue that as well. Fourth on the list, I have to look at my list. Fourth on the list is committing to service projects and events, being part of serving our community in a multitude of ways. The last project area is intentionally living more deeply into practices of prayer, through writing prayers for Sunday morning, being part of the prayer team, and the like. So we're asking each household to commit to at least one of these time and talent areas. And then for treasure, we ask each household to consider what they are financially giving to the church. If you're giving already, thank you, thank you, thank you. Might you, those who are giving, think about increasing at least 1% or 2% or 5%, however God is calling you. Might you increase your giving? If you haven't been giving financially, might you start? Pick an amount that you can start and be consistent in giving. If your life has changed and the giving that you once were able to offer freely has changed, maybe assess once more. What can we give in honor to God and in thanksgiving for God's love? Pick an amount and start there. All of these activities, all of these gifts, all of these commitments are a way in which we give thanks and praise to God, and are used through the ministries and mission that God has placed in our hands here at Living Waters. We are excited to see what God has planned for our hearts this stewardship season. And we look forward to seeing how you and your household choose to engage in this exciting time of giving thanks for God's love that is abounding.